Yo, Attack on Titan, am I right, guys? Gabby Gang. So I think the final season ending theme is pretty cool. Let's talk about that. Yes, that is the video. Attack on Titan has a large array of excellent opening and ending themes. I love pretty much all of them except for the unfortunate OP5, which sounds like Linked Horizon threw their previous 3 OPs into a blender and poured out this horrible, unmemorable sludge. It's pretty lame comparatively, but all the rest are pretty damn good. In general though, I tend to be the most fond of the EDs. They lean a bit weirder and capture this somber melancholic tone that I think suits the show, my tastes, and personality more so than the raw hype and blood-pumping energy. Especially after the tense events of recent, a well-made ED provides the perfect opportunity to reflect and meditate on the events of the episode prior. Or to open up Twitter and spam hashtag #GabbyGang, baby! It usually takes more than just a sad piano and some reverb vocals to make something memorable though, and the musical landscape that Yuko, Ando, Shogeki creates delivers a fitting and excellent ending theme that stands strong among all the others. So with that said, Shogeki starts off with a piano and some reverb vocals. The beauty of this ED in a lot of ways comes from its pure simplicity. It sounds a lot more complicated than it actually is if you break it down. If I simply divide it into all its different pieces, we have the main vocals providing harmony, piano, strings, a very basic percussion, a bass guitar, harp, and what sounds like lock or xylophone. I'm pretty sure I didn't miss anything there, though this larger group is minimized by the fact that a lot of these are serving the purpose of repetition or doubling. So the amount of completely unique musical lines happening simultaneously is a lot less than you might expect. But those few distinct musical passages accomplish a lot. They get a lot of bang for their buck with them, paired with some well done mixing to make everything sound nice and broad. Like the way this little percussive sound moves around the mix. That's a lot more interesting than if it was just static, and it feels like it helps set us up for when things go from simple to complex in the chorus. Looking at it in a purely objective sense, there's a clear sense of progression into climax into falling action. It's really direct about it. Just to be clear, I am looking at the TV size version of the ED here. There are some cool things in the full version, but the TV size is easier to break down, and for the most part the full version is just an elongated version of the TV size. And also I'm like 100% certain that this was composed with the TV version in mind. If you listen to the full version, it does kind of sound like they just slotted an extra block of music in the middle of the TV version. It's not 100% seamless. Like I said, there's some cool stuff, but not really relevant to what I want to talk about. The beginning sets up the vocals and piano alone, with bass guitar doubling the bass line. Then the very end of that verse introduces vocal harmony. Second lyric, add a percussive element and the xylophone, repeat the vocal melody, but with a bit more harmony this time, good. But wait, it changes things up at the end with the harp hit transitioning us into the second verse, which now has strings. The main vocal melody is fleshed out and the harmony is now present enough to have its own sense of melodic structure. Drop everything but the vocals and a string drone so you can bring everything back for the punchiest possible chorus, transitioning with the harp hit that was set up earlier as a tool for that purpose. Here the extra element is the snare and kick drum. So thanks to all that, the chorus feels the biggest, grandest, and most powerful it's ever been, creating an effective climax, and then coming down for the post-climax resolution. I don't know about the wording on that one, but I'm gonna leave it in because it's funny. The ending has that sense of coming down from the heights, falling action if you will, but there's still more to it than the beginning of the songs, so it does feel like we made some progress over the course of this musical journey. But on that note of progression, there is an interesting kind of circularness to it. This is another one of the ways where it's simpler than it sounds. My musical analysis breaks this down as being essentially B major with a 4-5-7-6-5-7 half cadence progression for basically the whole song. Wait, stop. I know I'm losing you. Just hold on a second. It'll make sense, I promise. What I mean here is that the chords are pretty simple, repetitive, and circular. Now thankfully the way the harmony is written makes it not sound stale, and there's a neat chromatic passage in the xylophone and strings that gives some much needed tonal diversity. And I mean, most songs get by just fine with 4 chords, so it's not exactly a complaint, just an observation. But I think it is interesting that the piece in my eyes is indisputably situated around B, but never quite reaches that arrival, that home note that it's searching for. You could arguably say there's a resolution here, since there's a B drone and the melody outlines B. But while it might be a harmonic resolution of sorts, it certainly doesn't sound that way to my ears, and I wouldn't think so to yours either. It functions as a transition into the chorus. It's moving towards something, not arriving there. And the lack of fleshed out harmony, since the only harmonic information we're getting is the melody and then just the one drone note, prevents our ears from hearing it too strongly as such. The reason I highlight this is because it's cool. It's a cool character and it works quite well for the show. It has this sense of striving forward, this ascension and progression, but never is able to quite reach what it is striving for. With all the bait and switches in Attack on Titan and the ones to come, yes, I've read the manga, that musical choice, intentional or not, is quite apt. Like, just listen to how it leans on that 7th leading tone with the chromatic going right up into it. The note that, as per its name, leads to the tonic, to our do, to our home note. But that B we're waiting for refuses to come, at least in the way that it feels like it's trying to arrive, holding on that irresolute sensation in a way that really sticks with me. Even though the tone is rather melancholic, it being in major gives it a distinct brightness. It doesn't feel somber and plodding. It has a more thoughtful, almost hopeful character to it, I think. Like, even in spite of constantly failing to reach that goal, it does continue to strive in pursuit of it, that there is nothing you can do but believe that one day you'll reach that goal. Pretty neat. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and apologies in advance if I made any mistakes. I'm no pro at music, I just like it a hell of a lot. And if you like me, be sure to like and subscribe. Also check out my second channel, linked below. I'm planning to do a lot more stuff with it. Special thanks to all my patrons whose names are on screen now. Your support is greatly appreciated. And with all that said and done, I'll see you in the next one. Yo, Attack on Titan, am I right, guys? You, Gabby, fuck Gabby. I probably shouldn't swear in the first minute of this video.